So now that we know what vector fields are, let's look at an example. We want to sketch some vectors in the vector field given by minus yi plus xj. So we want to plot some vectors at several random points. But we don't want to do this in any old, random way. We want to consider really plotting vectors of equal magnitude or length. And this idea, this is like the idea of level curves that we looked at a long time ago. So I want to plot vectors of equal magnitude, so I'm going to look at vectors of length c. So I want the magnitude of f to be c. So if I look at the magnitude of f, if you look back at your formula for f, it's minus yi xj. So the magnitude would be negative y squared plus x squared. This corresponds to the square root of y squared plus x squared. Might be more familiar if you switch them. And if I square both sides, you get x squared plus y squared equals c squared. This corresponds to an equation of a circle with centered at the origin with radius c. So let's go ahead and choose a value for c. Let's say I take c equals 1. So here I'm talking about a circle of radius 1 centered at the origin. I'm talking about the unit circle here. So here's my unit circle. I'll just use dotted lines to draw the unit circle. And the last part kind of got a little long there. There we go. And you need to take points on this unit circle. So you need to pick some points on the unit circle. Let's pick 1, 0, 0, 1, negative 1, 0, and 0, negative 1. And then you need to plug them into the f function to see what vector do you get out. So if I plug in 1, 0 in for f, you're going to get j. So at the point 1, 0, which is right here, you're going to draw the vector j. So up, a vector going vertically up, the length is 1. And then you're going to plug in 0, 1. You're going to get negative I. So at 0, 1, you're going to have a vector going in the x direction and length of negative 1. If you plug in negative 1, 0, you'll get negative j. So at negative 1, 0, you have a vector going down, a length of 1. And then the last point, 0, negative 1, you're going to get a positive I. So at 0, negative 1, you have a vector going in the x direction, positive 1. So there's 4 vectors, and you can repeat this process. I just did it for a circle of radius 1, but you can repeat this for circles of radius 2 and 3, etc. It's going to change the length of your vectors. So if you have a circle of radius 2 now, you're going to pick some points on there. So maybe pick these points here and draw the vectors at those locations, and you'll see that the vectors have increased in length. The length will now be 2 or 3, depending upon which radius you choose.